So this video will be showing how I do my edge-to-edge quilting using my embroidery machine. I am using a pattern from Designs by Juju, which is their Stars and Stripes, I believe. You can kind of see it there. Oop. So that's what it'll look like. So I do have a dime magnetic hoop, which does make it easier to do hoopings versus using the traditional large hoops and having to unhoop it and clip it every single time. And I am just using a regular white thread for this one. It's just that it'll blend easier. This is meant to be a reversible table runner. So I have a patriotic front and a black and white backing. So we'll go ahead and go to the first stitch position. So I'm just going to press my one here. All right. So the easiest way for me to tell if it's where it should be is if I put my presser foot down. I definitely am not near the stitches from the last pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull my fabric down where I need it to be for the start. And then that will give me the option to adjust my fabric. Everything lines up. I'm going to push my hoop back, straighten this out by pulling on the other parts to make it taut. So I'm going to go ahead and take my top thread and hold it, and then I'm going to put my needle down, pull up my bobbin thread. And I have been having a little bit of issues of just grabbing this because my nails are a little bit longer than they normally are. So the point of this is that you should be able to pull up your bobbin thread, have your top thread, and then you're going to start the stitching just so it ties it off. And then I usually, after a couple, just stop my stitches, cut it off, and then continue the design. So now at this point, it's done sewing out that pattern. So you can either unhoop the whole thing or unclip it and then rehoop it, or you can keep it on. Since this is the magnetic hoop, it does give you that ease of access. So you can actually just take your hoop off, put it over here on the right, and then you can gently slide your project forward. And this does make it easier for placement. So, and I've just been using this as my guide. This is where it should line up, so then I can just go ahead and place this down. I am not a perfectionist when it comes to a lot of these things, as you can tell. So I do know that I'm going to need to move my fabric up a little bit more, because I do see that I do have sewing or embroidery here. So definitely too far down the hoop. I'm just going to lift that right back up. Pull that up a little bit more. Probably about here. Oh, that's definitely going to be right there. So then I'm just going to readjust. Again, putting my ends where they should be. And I am using a quick clip tool to help me undo my basting pins. I do like these curved pins a lot more than using a spray adhesive or straight pins themselves, or even basting stitches. They're just a lot easier for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first stitch again. That way it moves my hoop down further. I'm going to unclip my clips with my quick clip. So this actually helps putting on the clips and taking them off. So I'm going to demonstrate with my left hand. Pull it up, push up. This saves your fingers from having to press on these every single time. So just going to make sure I don't have anything underneath my hoop. I have definitely accidentally embroidered when I had stuff underneath, and that was a terrible, terrible mistake. Okay, so I definitely know that I'm at where I should be for my first stitch. I need to move over just a little bit. Definitely need to move my bottom down just a little bit too. And then I'll basically do the same thing as I had before. Hold my top thread, pull up my bottom thread, and then let it stitch out. And then just repeat that process. I am definitely not somebody who typically pre-washes my fabric. I do like the wrinkled look from the fabrics when they do shrink after being quilted and embroidered on. The other thing is that I also don't do the starting in the middle and make my way over to the right or to the left. I found with the edge-to-edge designs, it is the more difficult to do that, and especially trying to figure out how many hoopings, since you know it doesn't go all the way to the edge of the frame itself. I found just starting on one side, going all the way down, or going all the way across, and continuing that pattern is a lot easier to manage. And I haven't had any issues with it shifting on any quilts that I've done so far. So definitely try this method out. Let me know what you think. Again, these are designs by Juju, edge to edge quilting. Thank you so much. Bye.